So day one, how was it, being out on the practice field with these guys?
Well, first of all, it was awesome to be out on the football field finally with these guys and just to be around them. This is an eager team. It's a bunch of guys that are hungry and eager to get out on the football field and learn from all our coaches and everybody that's involved about what we're wanting. And the one thing that we'll continue to talk about this whole offseason is attitude and effort, and which takes zero talent. And these guys had great attitudes today and showed a lot of effort. And so, we got so much film to work off of today to go back in and hopefully correct before we get back out here on Wednesday. But, it was just fun to get out and work with our guys and get around them and, kind of see where we're at, after day one. But we got a lot of work to do. I know that. But most football teams do, first spring practice. And so that's the fun part, that these guys are eager to get back into the building right now and go back to work and learn off their mistakes today to come back out on Wednesday.
What is most important when you're establishing the tone of a new program?
Well, I think for us, number one, if you look at individual coaches, so everybody's got a little bit different coaching style at each position. So, establishing what were expectations at each position, and also expectations with offense, defense, kicking game. You take a first practice, so most college practices, all of them are going to be a little bit different here or there, even for our staff. So all these guys hadn't been with us, and you think about equipment guys and spotting the ball, just little things that they haven't been around our practice. And so for day one, and a couple of the coaches said, man, I thought we practiced fast where I was at, but this was a lot faster. So those kind of comments. And so I think just going out and here's our expectations, so now we can go back in and coach off of that and say, guys, we got to be faster here, or you got to know where you're going here. Those type of things, will come because at the end of the day, wins and losses are all about your preparation. So everything that we're doing in spring and summer and in fall practices are going to be determine how you play on Saturdays. And so we obviously got to get that corrected and get that right. And I think that's probably going to be the most important thing as we go through spring.
Obviously, when quarterback today.
Well, all of them got reps. Right now we have 4 quarterbacks, and so all 4 are getting reps. And I think I saw the same thing out of the quarterbacks I saw out of most everyone else. Kind of big eye. You're trying to get a feel for everything. Because this is new to them. Our terminology, what we're asking them to do, getting lined up, all these things are so new. And we practice fast. So now you're going from one drill to the next. And just when they thought they were getting this drill, we're to another drill. And so it's kind of like, where am I going now? And those type of things. So I saw that out of the quarterbacks. There were some good plays and there were some bad plays. It's a little bit about like that at every position. Obviously it's why you practice. It's not going to be perfect, but there's some things I saw out there. Like for example, wide receivers. We got some guys that can run. Wide receiver. And we got some depth out there. I think that's noticeable when you go out and practice and see that. Some running backs I thought did some good things. As you look on the defensive side of the ball, they're flying around on defense. I think they probably did more just teaching them how to run to the football more than anything today, and that's just effort, just flying to the ball. Alignment and assignment, that stuff will come eventually, but right now defensively it's just everybody chasing the football. That's going to be our MO on defense.
You talk going fast. Obviously, allows you to get more stuff in.
Yeah.
But is there a message to the players about when you move that fast?
Well, it's just I want to have chaos in practice, but inside things have to be slow. It's kind of that duck mentality. As you see a duck going across the water, up top he's looking calm and collected, but underneath that water they're going wide open. And that's kind of how practice looks. It should look wide open, but inside their minds it should be going slow. And now we're not there. It's chaos everywhere, mind, body, everywhere right now. But eventually that's where we want to get to. And because the game of football, it changes on every snap. What you're coaching your players initially, it's going to change. It's going to move. It's not a stagnant sport. And so that's kind of how we want to practice. We're going to throw a lot at our guys throughout practice. And today was very base, like extremely base, and it will be probably for the next week before we start adding some things. So, but eventually it's going to be real chaotic. That way, when games happen, adversity hits, you don't panic. You're going to just continue to play ball. We know we're going to settle and go play ball. So those are things we're learning, we're teaching. We'll get that as we head through it.
Are there things you're able to do moving from a Group 5 school to a Power 5 school that you weren't able to do at App State practice-wise or preparation-wise?
I don't think so. I think, the way we practice there is pretty good, and I think it's going to be the way we practice here. You may have a few more bells and whistles, a few more toys maybe, so to speak, from the equipment room. but a lot of things that we had there we're using here. We got a lot more help, I think, probably, as you think about just the guys that are, outside the coaches, you think about equipment, training, and all the different things. As far as the people, we got a lot of help. And so we got to do a really good job of making sure everybody has a role in what they're doing to help our football team and not just standing around. I want everybody moving, helping, whatever their role may be. So I think that's probably the big difference. I mean, it's, we're still going to prepare the same way. I don't care what level you are. Once you're organized with your practice, you just know how you're going to prepare. We just got a lot more help. I think that which is a bonus. I love it.
When spring practice ends here in a couple weeks, where do you want to see this team?
Well, I think, again, our expectations for each position in offense, defense, and kicking, we got to set the expectations. This is where we got to get to, and so we're going to work that every single day. Will we get there by the end of the spring? Probably not. But we are going to gain on it. And I think our guys, what we're coaching them, what we told them in the meeting today, is stay in the moment. I'm not worried about tomorrow. I'm worried about today and right now. How good can you get today? Tomorrow, we'll worry about that tomorrow. And so I just think staying in the moment, because if you do that, things don't become overwhelming. If I start thinking about our season and our teams we got to play, that becomes overwhelming. But today, how good can I get today as a coach, as a player? That's how we got to approach that in that way throughout this whole spring practice. And then we'll see where we're at day 15 by the end. We're going to be obviously a lot better than we are right now. We want to take this film right here and we want to keep this one for a while, because if you look at this film right here, now when you look at it in August 15th, how far are we going to be able to come from that point forward? But we're going to take it day by day and really try to get good on that day.
When do you start looking at Notre Dame and the schedule?
Notre Dame, probably about 10 days before we play them. We're going to be big on us. I'm not really worried about the others and the opponents and all that. We're going to be big on us. And even when we start, playing teams throughout the season, we're going to be worried about how good can we get. It's not really about our opponent. We're going to focus on ourselves. How good can we get? And then once you start, a week prior, 10 days prior, then you start looking at their schemes and how we scheme them up. But it's so much more about us, not everybody else.
How much are you implementing? How much are you implementing the offense and the defense right now?
We're very basic, very basic. We got to we got to just line up, and then want to play, and then come back, line up, run the same play. By the end of spring, we're going to have, maybe half to 60% of offense and defense in. We just want to get good at fundamentals, blocking, tackling, alignment, assignment, those kind of things with our base packages. We're not going to try to out-scheme each other. I never have been that way in the spring. It's just get good at our fundamental. Your meat and potatoes type stuff, you get good at that. All the other stuff, we'll get, we'll play with that as the season goes on. But in spring practice, we're just going to get good at our basics.
Is there anything you learned today that seeing these guys on the field that you didn't know?
I don't know if there's anything, that I didn't know about them, really. I think what was encouraging was how eager our guys are. Just from the meeting, right from the start of the meeting to the time we got on the field, everybody's so eager to learn and absorb and come out and just play ball. I think the eagerness is a joy to be around, and I think that's contagious. And I think as long as we're that every day, and it's day one. So you usually are eager on day one. Can we be eager on day 13 and 14? As you move through spring practice and every day that you're coming over here, and that's what we want. I hope that's what we're going to have out of our guys as we move forward. But the eagerness was awesome, and as coaches, we can't wait to get back in here and watch this film and get with our guys. And that's what we want to create, that environment where every day they're excited to come over to the building to get better.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.